discussions on key relationships and how they are helpful to us. We're talking specifically about marriage. But before you may get off, if you are unmarried, I want you to realize that this message is for everyone. Marriage is good. Marriage is not necessary in this life, but it is good, and it is a blessing. In Hebrews chapter 13, in verse 4, there's a statement that's made about marriage. And notice how we oftentimes apply the second half of the verse, but not always the first half of the verse. We're guilty of doing that. I'm guilty of doing that. Sometimes we apply a certain part of the verse. Sometimes we neglect another part of the verse. It's one of the difficulties that we face as we try to choose what is right and reject what is wrong. In Hebrews 13 verse 4 it says marriage is to be held in honor among all. And the marriage bed is to be undefiled. For fornicators and adulterers God will judge. So we oftentimes apply the second half of that verse and we talk about not fornicating and not committing adultery and that sort of a thing. But what about the first half of the verse? Because both parts of the verse are essential. Both parts of the verse involve instruction. And so the first part of the verse tells us that marriages be held in honor among all. So whether you are married or whether you are unmarried, you have certain obligation, you have a certain duty to give honor to marriage. To give honor, a very easy way of defining giving honor is to go out of your way for someone or for something. And so what do you do to go out of your way to honor marriage? Now, if you're married, that certainly would mean that as a husband you show love and you show sacrifice, you show understanding and sympathy and compassion towards your wife, the wife of your youth, that you find satisfaction in her. But not just those sorts of things, you go out of your way. You go out of your way for your wife. You do things maybe that you don't have to do. You do things unexpectedly that are rewarding to your wife. You bless her. You richly bless her. And if you're a wife, what does this mean? Well, this means you go out of your way to show respect to your husband, to show submission to your husband. But not just that. You also go out of your way for your husband. You do the unexpected thing. And not just something that would frustrate him, but you do something for him to bless him richly and to bless your marriage. And so, if you're married, what sort of time are you taking to go out of your way to honor the institution that you are a part of, the covenant that you are a part of? Because even the language that we use is sort of dishonoring towards marriage as an institution. We call it the old ball and chain. We talk about being tied down or locked down. We talk about the old lady or the old man. Those are not honoring terms. Those are not honoring phrases. They're, things that we use in jest and in humor and whatnot. But what sort of honoring language do you use? What sort of honoring actions do you use for your marriage? Now, it's not just for the married. It's also for the unmarried, because the passage tells us that marriage is to be held in honor among all. There are people that aren't married. And yet there is a duty and there's an obligation from God for you, the unmarried person, to honor marriage. And so what does this mean? Well, this means that you're careful about not using that sort of language that we just talked about. It tells us that you should also go out of your way for those who are married to try and support and encourage and stimulate that relationship with whatever gifts and talents and capabilities that you have. It means that you've got to go out of your way to celebrate people's anniversaries, that you celebrate at their weddings, that you spend time thinking about and performing actions that can honor the marriage of others. It is a good thing to be married. It's not necessary, but it is a good thing, and it is a valuable thing. It is an honorable institution that God has given. And so how much are you going out of the way? We had a deacon on Wednesday night gave us an invitation talking about something that he struggled with, talking about an area that he struggled with currently, and that was to show love and sort of grace and understanding to others right now. He spoke about that, and it was a very humbling sort of circumstance for him to say, I struggle with this, and so I'm talking about it. And so I want to share with you that I've been inspired by his example and talk about this. This is something that I don't always give the attention that I should to. This is an area in which I fall short. It's easy to get stuck in the patterns and habits of life and to only do those things that are, essential. But I want you to realize that going out of your way and honoring marriage is a command before God. And not only that, it's something that should be done anyways. God empower us, and may His Spirit empower us to go out of our way to honor marriage as He has asked, as He has told us, and as good wisdom shows us. If we are honoring of our marriages, then every other institution in the world will be blessed by it. Every family will be blessed by it. Spiritually, our society will be blessed by it. Our children will be blessed by it. Our marriages will be blessed by it. People will be married until death do they part if they honor their marriage. So God help us to that end. God help you, whether you're married or not, to honor marriage. That's your encouragement today. If there's anything else that you need help with, any other encouragement that you need or studying that you want to engage in, we'd love to assist you to that end. We are here to help. Contact us through Facebook, through our website, talesofrdchurchofchrist.com, or through YouTube. We are everywhere, and if things keep going, we may end up on MeWe and Parler as well. So we'll do the best that we can to be available to you and to be helpful to you spiritually. God bless you.